Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be ranking all of the epic fruits and fruit battlegrounds. There are 7 currently as of March 2026 and I'll be ranking them on this spreadsheet. So we're going to start with Paul. Now the 5 things we're ranking it on are obtainment difficulty, skill, AoE, damage and mobility. The way I rank obtainment difficulty is how easy is it to roll or obtain. So it's not very easy because it's an epic. I'm giving it a 2. Anything above 1% gets a 3. Anything above 4% gets a 4. And anything above 20% gets a 5. Anything below 0.1% gets very bad. So I've got very bad, bad, mid, good, and very good. Okay, let's start. First move, pressure cannon. By the way, this has just default M1s, nothing special. Let's do this. Good range, 70 damage. Sonic Stomp. Good for traveling upwards, and pretty good for traveling just normally. I will show you how much damage it deals in a sec once the cooldown is done. Okay, so if we start from here, we can hit it like that, and that's 65. This can be used as travel, and it's very good for if you fall into the ocean, you can use this to get back up, because you can spam it by jumping up and up and up like this. Oh, I hit a target, so the cooldown went a lot longer. Anyway, next move, Sumo Thrust Barrage. Long range move, 10.4 per hit. Deals like, what was that, 90 damage? It's hard to keep track of the damage on this. I'm just gonna hit the next dummy. Okay, let's go. So it's about 94 damage if you hit all the sumo thrusts. Okay, now we've got Torture, which is just a bubble that you throw at them, and they kind of get stuck for a while. Deals 70 damage. Very good for stunning. You can do Torture and then Pressure Cannon while they're still stunned. Or you can even do a more techie, which is Sonic Stomp onto them, then spam an Ursa's Shock, and then a Pressure Cannon. Okay, so I forgot to show you Ursa's Shock before I did that combo. The longer you hold it, the more damage it will deal. It is like a projectile you can throw. 243.8 is the max damage, but it can be anywhere from about 160 to 240. So, yeah. Alright, now I want to show you a good combo. Alright, so let's do the combo. So you want to start with Torture. You can be about this far away max. You got to make sure you hit Torture and then go Sonic Stomp. Then throw an Ursa's Shock as fast as possible, and then you got a Pressure Cannon. You want to save your Sumo Thrust Barrage typically for a long ranged kind of like a self-defense. It's just kind of a spam move, but if you're really fast, if you're very skilled, you can even pull off something like this, which I'll show you in a second when my Ursa's Shock is low enough cooldown for this to work. Okay, so this should be good. I'm going to start with this. They get barraged, then you immediately throw a Torture. I just casually missed. Let me try that again. Okay, so this guy's on 1021 health. Right, so I'm going to show you. You got to go boom, 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 boom. Then you hold Torture for a little bit, see where he's gone. Okay. You have to be quite fast with this though. You won't hit the Ursa's Shock if you do it that slow. I've got to do it even faster than that. But you can do something like that, or you can do something a little bit less challenging, like this. So, assuming the wall was more flat there, you could probably land it. Or, you can do this. Though this only works close up against the wall. This might be a better way to approach the combo. This works very well against the wall. This pressure cannon has a crazy short cooldown. Or you can just use torture to, you know, do this. Boom. He's now got 1 HP. But the good thing about these dummies is they have the normal health of a max level player. As you can see, they have 300 and I have 1300, I mean. And I have 1300. So it's the same. Alright, let's bring up the spreadsheet. This is just one of my favorite fruits. Okay, so mobility is... It's... Like, the mobility itself of being able to move around is okay. Because you can do this. And while it does take a lot of energy, you can actually make it only take like 28 energy. And then you can do this. So, yeah. Pretty good mobility. But only for one move. The other moves don't really move you except pressure cannon. I'll just show you. Without a target, pressure cannon's not really a movement move. It's like... It's not even as long as Red Hawk on TS Rubber. It's just not. It barely does anything except in PvP situations. The damage? The damage is alright. I wouldn't say it's as good as Gas's damage. I know that sounds kind of crazy. But Gas has a 3 in damage. But this has more moves. On average, the moves have less damage on here. But it has another move, so I'm giving it 3. AoE is just great. It's almost 5, right? When you're actually in a PvP situation, the AoE is crazy. You can do this. Okay, I missed that. Right, watch this. Like, you could hit them from so far away, and you can make an explosion. That's great AoE right there. So, yeah, I think I should give it a 4. Should I give it a 5? It's almost a 5. I'm just trying to think of the other moves in the game. I don't think it's quite deserving of a 5 because there's a few legendaries and mythics who have overall better AoE than that. But 4 is still very impressive for an epic. Skill required. Okay. If you don't know how to aim, you're not going to do well with this. The only move that has auto aim is pressure cannon. So you've got the weakest move, haha. And the AoE helps a tiny bit on Ursa's Shock, but, you know, someone can still easily avoid that. You have to actually know how to aim. Yeah, so I'm going to give that a 2, because it's pretty hard to use effectively unless you know how the fruit works. You have to learn the fruit, but it's very fun if you know the fruit. Okay, so let's add up the total. 2 plus 3 is 5. Plus 4 is 9, plus 4 more is 13. So Paul gets a 13. That is halfway between the minimum and the maximum possible scores. And as a result, it seems like there's just so many fruits getting 13. You've got ice, sand, gas, falcon, and rubber. And that's, I think, mainly because the obtainment difficulty kind of balances it out a little bit. How hard it is to get impacts, well, how good it is impacts how hard it is to get. Yeah, so I think Paul's a great fruit, but you have to know how to use it. Alright, I'm going to move on to the next one now. Okay, I just rolled Flame V2, so we'll do that one next, which is actually Flame. Hey guys, alright, so we're on to Flame. Sorry, the graphics are terrible right now, so I can't really fix that. My private server just doesn't have great graphics. I think I'm got a private server in a bad region. But the first move is Fire Fist. No special M1s. And the impact damage is 62.5, but the total damage is 90. So that's 27.5 burn damage. Okay, next we have Fire Gun. This is just a spray of small fiery bullet looking things. Every bullet deals 7.5 damage, but if you hit every single one plus burn damage, you deal 122 damage. It's pretty good if you ask me. Sets them on fire for a while. Alright, next. Pillar. Now the graphics are absolutely terrible. It looks a lot better in normal servers, but this is all I can show you. And of course, if you hold this, sorry I had an interruption, if you hold this all longer, you can deal that much damage. If you tap it, it deals the same as if you hold it, which is 135 damage. Okay, next up we have Beam. Now the longer you hold this, the more damage you deal. There's normally fire building up around you, but for some reason the graphics are absolutely terrible in my server. Thanks very much, I appreciate that, server. Okay, so that's 100 impact damage, then a few more burn impact damages, and the total damage comes to... I didn't measure it. So let's do that. Wait, hold on, we know that it was 1165. 2, 4, 1. 142 damage. Got it, yay. Alright, and then we've got Engai. Or I'm not sure what it translates to. I think it translates to oh, it did nothing, it missed. I think it translates to like I don't remember. It's Japanese for something. This game just decided to spell it in English how it would be spelled if it was pronounced. Yeah. For fun, I guess, I don't know. Let's just use Enkai again, but before that, actually, nah. It's about to come back. So he's on 1165 HP. Enkai. Now, the longer you hold it, the more damage you'll deal. 1165 HP, right. The impact... Okay, that's just dumb. Why, bro? Right, I'm just gonna do the flight then. The flight goes until you have lost 300 energy in total, so you know how much time you have left on the flight if you keep track of how much energy you had when you started. So for example, if I started this with 1400 energy, I'm gonna end this with 1100 energy. And it goes this fast in any direction. Pretty good. Yeah. Alright, Engai is back. Let's hopefully get this to actually work. So, please don't cling to any of those bracelet things. Ha! Okay, I'm going to just pause until this works. You can stop the flight early if you want to. Right, let's try this now. Hopefully, this will not cling to any unnecessary things. Please, ball of fire. Thank you. Alright, so the total damage... You know, it's about 200. Okay, so let's see this time. Started with 965 health. And ended with 795. So that's 100. And 70. 170 damage. So, decently strong. But it's actually not as good as you might think. Flame. Okay, so the mobility is actually, mobility is... I'm gonna say good, because I ranked Chop's mobility as good, and it only has car. This flight doesn't go as fast, but it can literally fly, so I'm gonna count that. Damage is mid. The damage is not bad, but it's not good. So mid. AoE. The AoE is not as good as Paul's AoE, but it's close, so we'll say 3. Skill required to use this, yeah. This, if you fight and win in PvP with this, I am impressed. You deserve a medal. This fruit is not easy to use. It's really not. It's very hard. And an obtainment deficit too. So let's see what the total score comes out to. 4 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1. Wow. That's crazy. It's only wait. 3, 3, 3, 4. 3, 3, 3, 4. It's a 13. Same as Paul. Yeah. Alright. It's harder to use, but it's got better mobility. So yeah, I would say this is pretty equal with Paul. Alright, moving on to the next one. Alright guys, so next we've got Snow. No special M1s, deals the same damage as every other M1. First move is Snow Angel. The further away you are, the less accurate the snow balls will be that fly out of this. As you can see, they were slightly spread out. Of course, over a more long range, they will further and further get away. So for example, I'm going to use the flight. This flight is decent. It's not a great flight, but it lasts about 10 seconds. If I do it from here, which it'll still hit, you can see that the snowballs are far more spread out when they hit the ground. So the further you are away, the less accurate it will be. But each snowball, let's see, 1, 2, 2, 7. Each snowball deals 8.1 damage, and if you're really close up, you can deal about 80 damage. So yeah, because there's 10 snowballs that come out, I guess. Okay, next we have Winter Storm. This is an AoE move. It's actually a very strong move for a second move. Deals a lot of damage. See, that's 140 damage right there from Winter Storm. And it, you can throw it. So I'll show you, yet again, by using Snowdrift. I'll show you exactly how long it lasts this time. You can change direction as you fly. Right, so as you can see, it's not very long. So I'm going to throw it from here. It says... What? That's weird. Wait, what? Why did that happen? Okay, hold on. Okay, let's try this again. I'm gonna aim at them. Why is it going down? Does it have like an aim bug or something? That's weird. Oh. Well, I guess the closer you are, the more accurate it'll be. But that's really weird. Anyway, I'll show you again once it's done, but I'm not going to keep waiting for that. So third move, Frost Dome. This is a protective dome. If you are inside, you take 50% less damage from outside attackers. Or maybe, I think it's also from inside attackers. And you cannot be stunned while you're in here. It's physically impossible. If you block a move that would normally break your block and stun you, you just don't get stunned by. Let's try this one more time. Let's see what happens if I aim it up above them. Maybe it's just normally aims further down than your cursor. So like if I aim it here, it'll end up going here. That's interesting. Alright, let's review Snowdrift. So Snowdrift moves with your cursor. You can also shift lock it if you want to. It's an alright flight, but it's nothing special because it doesn't last very long and it's not very fast. Can be good for climbing walls and that though. And then we have the ultimate. Snowball Catastrophe. Yeah, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. It's just a big snowball that runs people over and then explodes. So, deals about 150 damage from memory. I didn't check it. I will check it on these guys, though. But it's an AoE that actually moves even faster than the flight. So you might be like, why the flight? Because it doesn't waste your strongest move to fly, and you can go up. That's basically the entire reason Snowdrift exists. And so this guy's on 1300. Let's see how much damage this deals in total. Okay, so the build-up damage is about, yeah, so it deals 72.5 twice. The build-up damage is half of the total damage. So if you only hit someone with the explosion, it'll only deal 72.5. And all of the build-up is another 72.5. So in total, that's 145 damage, which makes it your strongest move. Because Winter Storm only deals like 141 damage. So yeah. But it's a bit disappointing that this fruit only has 3 damaging moves, because Frost Dome is entirely defensive, and the E is a flight that does absolutely no damage. So I'm gonna bring the spreadsheet up, and Snow right here. So the mobility is not terrible. It's got the E move, which lets you fly, and it's got the Snowball Catastrophe, but it's not very good. It's not as good as Flame. Flame's a 4 because its flight lasts a lot longer. This is only a 2. Damage. Well, the damage is alright. But as I said, there's only 3 moves that deal damage. And the first one is pretty weak. So I'll give it a 2 because Flame deals a lot more damage overall. Partly due to it having 5 attacking moves instead of 3. But now the AoE. Area of effect is, well, it's not terrible because its range is actually really good on the first and second moves. I'll give it a 3. Skill required to use this is it's not terribly hard to use, but you can't use this unless you know exactly like how the moves work. It's not a good combo fruit. An obtainment difficulty is a 2 because it's a normal epic. Snow gets 2 plus 2 plus 3 is 7. Sorry. Plus another 4 is 11. That's pretty bad. That's tied for the second worst fruit. Yeah. It's tied with Bomb and Barrier. The only one worse than it is Smoke. And honestly, it would beat Smoke in a battle, but it would be not very far off. It's just not good. I know. Yeah, this fruit just isn't very good. But it does have the defensive capability of Frost Dome, so that's something, I guess. Okay, just got Light. Let's do Light. So Light is an interesting fruit. It's the only epic that I'm going to give a 3 to on attainment difficulty. Because it's above 1%. It's like 1.02%. And I know that's a tiny bit over 1%. But just to keep it consistent, I'm going to give it 1%. I'm going to give it that. Because it is quite easily the easiest epic to attain. I just happened to get it 4th. So this fruit has some very good travel. and it's got a decent set of moves that can make a good combo. Even though it's the easiest to obtain, it's one of the best, actually. I feel like this is going to get one of the highest scores. Alright, so first move, light kick. Great range. This can hit that guy for 55 and then 10 fire damage. So that's 65 damage in total, 55 impact and 10 fire damage. And its range is just... Okay, it didn't quite reach there. But its range is very good. And the AoE isn't bad about at all, you know? It's a pretty good explosion, isn't it? Yeah, see? So, good move. Next, mirror kick. So you go really high into the air. This is insane for escaping damaging. Like tsunamis from Quake and Darkest Quake. This can escape them so easily. Deals about, what was that, 90 damage? I missed! Ha! The crane just... Bruh. The thing is, it doesn't teleport you directly above where you actually originally started. So if I do this, it moved me back a little bit. So that was, I think, 85 plus 2.5 times 2. So that's 90 damage in total. Let me do it one more time to show you. I missed both of them! Bro, okay. I'm gonna do this one more time. Because I don't, yeah. Right, there you go. Yeah, so that's 95 damage, actually. Never mind. And then we have Blinding Combo. This is a very close range fruit. Terrible for AoE. You have to be like this close to hit him. But it deals crazy damage. Well, not crazy, but good damage. And it stuns them and then kicks them away. So if you need like a you need to get away from me kind of attack, if they're too close to you, you can do this. And in total, it deals 78 damage. That's weaker than Mirror Kick, but still very useful in close range. Okay. Next, Guzan. This is just absurd for travel. You can move this far with one move. An attack move. And on top of that, it deals 100 damage exactly. And you can move. I'll show you. You can even move upwards. Like, look. I can do this with it. Great for travel. Good damage. And we have Jewels of Light. Now, every jewel is 3.3 damage. But if we're being realistic, you're not going to hit every single jewel. So I'm just going to say you'll probably deal about 100 damage. 130 damage. Right, so let's use it again on a dummy that is fully healed. So, this one? No, let's use on that one. Let's use on that one. Right, so he's at 1300. Assuming you continue to use this, you just barrage him, right? This is a barrage move. Yeah, you're gonna deal almost 100 damage, but even though it's on average going to be slightly weaker than Guzan, it has much better AoE. Because Guzan is just a straight line, right? You have to get close up to normally hit it. Unless you can not be in a close up. But with Jewels of Light, sends you into the air, and look at this. I'm still able to hit a lot of, like, range. So, that's good. And you can do this with Guzan too. If your enemy somehow stays still for that long, you can still get them in the kind of cut. And we have the flight. This is the most... I think this is the fastest flight in the game. It's just a great flight. You can escape so many people. This fruit has to be one of the very best travel fruits in the game. Because you can stay... This fruit can let you sky camp. This is the sky camping fruit right here. Like, you can just do this. And this. And there's a trick with Katakuri's lair. if you want to escape Katakuri's lair, well, imagine you're in his lair, right? In this place. Right? Okay, so you're fighting in here. You're using light. What you can do is this. I'm going to get up reasonably high. Right next to the roof. And then just hold light kick or Guzan. And ideally Guzan. And then light kick. And then get very close to the roof and then just hold mirror kick. Now what's this? Right, you're above the roof. Now you can do this. Get up close to the flight. Let go just before you're about to hit the roof. Then do the same thing. Right, get really close. And then just mirror kick up again. And look at that. You're on the main island. So just 2 mirror kicks. You can actually go from there into the lair. Boop, 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 boop. Fly up. Boop, 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 boop. And suddenly you're on the ground. Pretty cool, right? I just discovered that randomly one day. But very good for travel. Let's bring up the spreadsheet and see just how well this does. So, obtainment diff 3. It's the only fruit in the game which is one of its category to be in a different percentile, a different percent category from the rest of its thing. Because legendaries have some above 1.1% and some below, but those, they are like 3 below 0.1% and most below above it. So it's the only one to be like an outlier. Right, mobility. This fruit has the best mobility in the game, in my opinion. I can't think of a fruit with better mobility than this. Light V2 isn't as good as this mobility. It's close, but this has got better mobility. Maybe Light V2 deserves a 5 as well. Well, you guys can let me know in the comments, but I'm just saying it deserves a 5, in my opinion. Okay. Damage. The damage isn't great, but there are 5 damaging moves. They're all okay. I'm going to give it a 3. AoE. If you actually think about it, the AoE is great too. Mirror kick, light kick, Guzan, Jewels of Light. Honestly, this deserves a 4. In my opinion, this deserves a 4. That's good AoE. And skill required. Yeah, okay, it's not... You need to know how to aim to use this. But... you don't have to predict where your opponent's going because your attacks are so fast. So that is 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 4 is 12, plus 3 is 18. This light is just too overpowered. It's just too good for its rarity. It's just too good. It's just too good. I don't know what to say. It's way too good. It's now officially the best fruit in the game as of right now. As of what we've covered. It's just way too good to be an epic. It should be a legendary. It would fit in with the legendaries. This fruit beats Quake in a 1v1. Light beats Quake in a 1v1. It's just so much better than it should be. So, Light gets an 18. That's great. I didn't even I thought it would get like a 15. But an 18 is insane. I didn't expect it to be that good. I mean, you could argue that obtainment diff is a 2. But I don't know, it's still pretty easy to get. And you could also argue that skill required is also a 2. Or 16, I'll say, depending on your opinion. Because skill required is, you know, you do have to aim. But there's so much AoE to it that it's It's easy. I'm going to say 18 or 16 depending on your opinion. I don't think anything's going to top this. Alright, let's move on to the next fruit. I think the only things that will top this are legendaries and mythics. No other epics will beat this, I think. I think it's the best epic in the game. And it's the easiest to get. I just don't know how they managed to keep this an epic for so long. Light V2 is worse. Okay, maybe it's not, but it's of comparable strength to almost every legendary. Alright, I'm gonna get the next epic now. I just rolled light after like 3 rolls, or 5 rolls. This just proves to you how easy it is to get. Anyway, see you guys when I get the next epic for real. Feel free to disagree with me in the comments about any of my opinions. You can say that. I feel like, if you want to have a conversation with other people in the comments about why you think I'm wrong or why you agree with me, maybe you just think something else, then, you know, feel free to say that in the comments. I'm always happy to hear people out that watch my videos, because if someone watches my video in the first place, that makes me happy. Okay, so we've got Love, the rarest of the epics, because Magma V2 can get you Magma indirectly. So it is rarer than Magma V2, even though it itself is the same rarity. It's easier to get Magma V2. Even if it's only by a little bit. I mean Magma. Okay, so you're already seeing me do the moves. What exactly am I doing? So, I'm just gonna... Alright, I'm gonna start with Cupid's arrow. There are no special M1s. There is one fruit in this list which has a special M1, and that's why I keep saying that. So there are 6 Cupid's arrows that can pop up. Eventually you'll have to let go. It'll let go for you if you don't. And each of them... I think they missed by like a quarter of a millisecond. That's... Ah. So this guy's on 172. Each individual arrow deals its own damage, and then there's a burst at the end. They all deal 10.8, and then a 32.5 at the end. Did you see what health this guy was on? I'm going to show you this again with a 949, right? He's on 949. You let go. Now he's on 787. That's 122 damage from the first move. And its range is dumb. And it's got a little bit of aim assist. Wait, was that a... What am I saying, bro? I think it's 162 damage. Wait. Now, to be fair, you're normally just tapping it to deal 60 damage. But if you do hold it, its potential is what matters. Its potential is... Wait, let's just test this one more time to make sure. He's on 679 health right now. You let go. And he's now on 516. That's 3 to get to 519. That's 60 to get to 579. So that's 163 damage potential. Isn't that kind of crazy? Next we have Bouquet of Pain. This has slightly longer range than Cupid's arrow, but it doesn't have aim assist. To help it though, it has a bit of AoE. Deals 105 damage. So that is a pretty good move. But it's not as good potential as Cupid's arrow. The only thing is, it can hit multiple people. So it does make up for that. Next we have Heartthrob. What does this do? I'm going to come back to that because I'm currently getting an alt account to join my private server. Because this is a healing move. So I'm not going to use that right now. We'll go to Heartstrings. Okay, Heartstrings. You hold this. And it's got aim assist as well. Well, not really aim assist. It's just kind of auto aim. Each tick is 60 damage, but it only actually deals damage in 2 of the ticks. The time before that is actually getting to be able to hit the opponent. So in total, that's 120 damage, by the way. Oh god. What? Okay, that's not normal. Okay. Sorry, guys. I genuinely didn't know that was even possible to do. I'm gonna respawn. But, that move is very easy to hit. I don't know if it breaks block. But it is very easy to hit the move. I think my auto count is joining now. So I'll test Blossom Wind. Is he joining? Ah, yeah, there he is, Robo Fruit Collector. That's the auto count that I'm getting all the stuff on in that other series. If you haven't seen it, check my channel out. You know, maybe you should subscribe, maybe like. But in all seriousness, I have got an auto count with a max level fruit, Venom, and I'm just going to use Heartthrob on him. But before that, let's just look at Heartstrings one more time. So, Heartstrings. It chooses which enemy to hit based on what your mouse is at. I think it's only in shift lock though. I'm going to test something. Let's see if sorry, I'm moving my alt account. Right. Let's see if the mouse decides or the character decides. Okay, it's the mouse. Good. And then, of course, we can do this. And then that. Okay, we've got Mr. Venom over here. Hold on, he's coming. Give me a second. Oh, where is he? There he is. Right. So I'm going to deal some damage to him. Now, in order to deal damage, I'm going to use Blossom Wind. This move is kind of like Iron Hurricane on impact. You hold it, it deals damage, and then you send him in an area. The total damage is about 130, I'll say. 130. Now we can test if this block breaks. The second half does. What about Bouquet of Pain? Ah, it disables block for a bit. And this, now you can block that. And I believe that if you use Blossom Wind and just the end bit hits, he can block that. But if you're caught in the start AoE spiral, then he will take damage. Right, now, let's use Heartthrob. Even though he's blocking, he can't gain any health. What's this? He's gaining health. Heartthrob gives him an insane amount of health. If I want to do this, and then I do that, and then I do that, and then I do this, I'm going to get him really low and just show you the extent of how good Heartthrob is at actually healing your friends. Bruh, Heartstrings didn't work. What's going on? Die! Got a Curry spawn, but I don't need him right now. I'm not interested in getting dough yet, so I will be getting all the legendaries for the next video, so please like and subscribe so that I feel like it's actually worthwhile getting all of those 15 legendaries prepared, because dude, that is going to be the hardest video to make, because there's going to be 14 of them. I just pause in between, so over several days. Okay, he's at 596 health. He's blocking. Let's use Heartthrob and see how much he's at after we're done. So as you can see, at 11.8 per tick. And look at his health bar! Afterwards, he's got 1,144. So that's about 600 health increase. 600 health in the span of like 15 seconds. And you can use this on yourself as well. If he damages me, well, let's say he decides he doesn't like me anymore. He's going to damage me. Where? Oh, there he is. Yeah, I do have to control this on my mobile device, but... Right. I'm losing health rapidly. Or, well... Kinda. Let's use Toxic Hydra to deal more damage. And then Poison Storm. Okay. Oh no! I'm getting poisoned! What should I do? Let's heal myself. I mean, come on guys, that's like... That's too good regen. And I'm not even done! And then I can do this. And that, and hope that hits. And if it doesn't, I can just heartstrings him. Make sure to hold heartstrings as long as possible until you can see it's grabbed him. Because otherwise it just won't work and you'll lose it. The cooldown will affect you anyway. Okay, let's go on to the spreadsheet. Now, love. This fruit is also going to rank pretty highly. I wonder if it's better than light. Let's have a look. So mobility, very bad. I'm sorry, there's no moves. There's no mobility moves. Damage, 5. Why? The healing is just insane. Okay. Yeah, you might consider healing to not be damage, but I think it's reverse damage on whoever you want. So I'm going to give it a 5 because its moves deal decent damage, but the healing... you can heal yourself or your friends in PvP. In 2v2s, you can heal your friends, and you can heal yourself in 1v1s and also 2v2s, and in just any situation. So even though it doesn't actually deal very much damage, it gets a 5, because it heals so well. AoE. Okay, the AoE is not amazing, but it's good, because Cupid's Arrow, crazy range. Right? You've already seen this. Look. Okay. Bouquet of Pain. It can reach a lot further than you might expect for an epic. What is going on? Okay. Right, Blossom Wind. Good AoE. Good range. Now, this thing. Bouquet of Pain. Bang. Bang. Good range. Good AoE. So, you know. It's not very, very good, but it's good. I don't know, is it worthy of the good? Maybe I'll just give it 3. It's good. But it's not, I don't know, I don't think it's as good as, what did I give Paul? I gave Paul a 4, didn't I? This isn't as good as Paul. Probably a 3 for AoE, I'd say. Is fair. Alright, I'll do a 3. Sorry guys, I just dropped my Apple Pen's lid. There we go. Okay. Skill required. To use this effectively, it's not that hard. Heartstrings and the first move, Cupid's Arrow, have basically got aim assist on constantly. Healing yourself is a trained thing to do, but it's not hard. And then the 5th move is just an attack to say, yeah, bro, I'm gonna send you into a spiral, and then you're gonna like get sent flying. So, great ranking. And then for obtainment difficulty, yeah, it's not easy to get. It's not that hard, but it's not easy. So that's 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 6 plus 3 plus 3, which is 6. So that's 12 plus 2 is 14. That is the second, tied for the second highest ranking with Ash and Darkness. Alright, moving on to the next fruit. Okay, next we got Magma, because I rolled it before String. So, let's go. First, we don't have any special M1s. As you can see by now, String has the special M1s. Alright, Major Eruption. It's just a fist of magma that gets sent flying. 65 impact damage, and then... what's that? 25 burn damage? 30 burn damage? Alright. 27 burn damage. 27.5 burn damage and 65 impact damage makes 92 damage. Okay, next we have Meteor Volcano. So you just hold this and each of them deals 15 and then 5. And if you stand in the magma, you do it. Right, I'm going to test this again on this dummy because he's got full health. I'm just going to, yeah. Okay. Meteor Volcano. Let's try this on this dummy who's got max health. So you have to be standing on a relatively good place. And you do this. So it's 15 and 5, 15 and 5. Okay, so each impact does 15 and then standing on this does 5. So the max damage you can deal is... There's no way it deals 300 damage. What? That's insane. That's... But there are two problems with this. One. Yeah, that's a problem, obviously. It doesn't keep you in the air while you're doing this. And two, you know, you're most likely not going to hit all of them because they're going to, like, you know, soar out of the way. So, for example, you're probably going to get maybe... You might get, like, this in reality, which is only about, you know, 50 damage. But in theory, you could deal 300. It's just really not practical. Maybe I'd say 100 is realistic. Now, next is Plume. He's on 1208. You have to be on the ground for this. Otherwise, it won't start. The longer you hold it, the bigger the volcanic plates are. Deals 60 damage. If you hold it, do they deal more damage? They might. Let's see how long I can hold this for. Now deals 70. Okay, okay. And if I tap it, does it still deal 70? Maybe I miscounted earlier. Yeah, I miscounted. It's just 70 damage. Okay. Next we have Eruptive Surge. This is a decent travel move. Why? The longer you hold it, the higher you fly up. It's kind of like Sonic Stomp on Paw. And it deals damage. You could also say it's like Launch on Bomb. 1103 HP. Let's see how much damage this deals. If I just tap it and if I hold it. Right, let's hold it. 62.5 damage. And then I assume if you stand in the magma, you'll deal more. Not realistic to actually happen in real life, though. And then if you tap it, how much does it do? By in real life, I mean like in a real circumstance. Sorry. Tap? Same. Yeah, so burn damage here. From standing inside the magma. It's not actually setting them on fire. And then we have Hellhound. This is a good travel move, but it also deals damage if someone's in your thing. And you have to keep going near them. But I'd say you'd probably hit about 80 damage with this, and it's good for travel. Okay, let's bring up the spreadsheet. I gotta be honest, even though in Fruit Battlegrounds it's weak compared to most of the epics, I'd say, it is the oldest. The oldest fruit to be added in an update by itself, because it was added in the very first update. So it's a very old fruit, and it hasn't been reworked since then. And it's strong in one piece, so. Also, do you like what I did here? Red, orange, and black. I think it's pretty good. Okay, so, mobility. It's a 3. You can fly up with eruption thingy. The longer you hold it, the further you can go. And Hellhound is decent. But it doesn't last very long. So I'd give it a 3. It's better than Snow for this. And I gave Snow a 2. But it's worse than Flame. So it's got to be here. Damage, 2. The damage isn't terrible, but the damage isn't great. So 2. With the exception of the second move, it doesn't deal enough damage. AoE. The AoE isn't bad, but it's also not good. Let's have a look at the moves again, right? Hellhound. Pretty small AoE, right? It's not terrible, but Eruptive Surge. See, if you just tap it, that's not even gonna hit. And then Plume's got alright AoE. I take it back. Plume has terrible AoE. Nah, mid AoE. Meteor Volcano's got alright AoE. I mean, the AoE isn't bad, but it's not good by any means. So, is it 2? No, I'm gonna give it a. It's a tiny bit less good than Flame for AoE. Now I'll keep it at a 3 then. Skill required. Yeah, bro. If you use this and you win in fights, you are the Giga Chad Sigma. I am sorry if I offended anyone by saying that. That is genuinely a compliment. Because you cannot use this unless you know exactly how your fruit works and how long the range is. Bro, this fruit is just not... It's not viable! In PvP, it's not viable. And it's the second rarest bit... Like, what? It's... Okay. So 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10, 11. Another tied for the second worst. I'm sorry, Magma. But at least Magma V2 is actually good. So it has potential. Just not good at self. And finally we will have String. So you guys want to get String. Okay guys, and finally we have String. So I ran out of money on my main account. And I didn't feel like continuing to try and roll. But I had my alt account which had String. Only problem? It was level 54. So, and as a result, I decided, yeah, it's probably better if I just level this up. It's like almost bedtime now, but it finally got to level 300, so I'm just gonna finish recording this. Right, this fruit does have special M1s, so we're gonna check them out. They each deal 13.8 damage, and 13.8 times 5 is 65 plus 4 damage, or a total of 69 for the 5 M1s. That's the strongest M1s we've done so far. Now, even though we're in mono, all of the moves deal less than 200 damage, so it's okay. Okay, first move is Full Bright. This, I think, block breaks. Deals 75 damage. Not very hard to hit. You can just do that and it'll still reach. It's very easy to hit. If I just did this, actually, it'll hit someone. Let's watch this. See? So very easy to hit. Second move, Overheat Whip. Good AoE. Grabs people within about that range. Deals lots of damage. I'll come back to the damage soon. String Knight. This makes a clone of yourself that deals damage. 5.5 per M1. That is, of course, at max level. It won't deal that much. At level 38 when you get it, I think. I think it's 38. Maybe it's like 60. But it'll just keep on wanting them. That's great for combos. Anyway, let's measure the damage of Overheat Whip. Doesn't matter how close they are when you start. It'll always deal the same damage. We're assuming you hold this. So the total damage is... Wow, that's a lot of burning. 171 damage. That's a lot. And the fiery... this itself is like 20 of that. So String Knight, of course, is not a direct damage move. It just summons something to continuously attack. You can use this in combination with Full Bright and your own M1s to make some very good combos. Assuming the AI is not stupid. You do have to rely on the AI actually being able to hit. When we have 16 bullets, this is the strongest move. It is the ultimate. So that actually is 16 bullets. I counted them. And each part deals 100 damage. So in total that's exactly 200 damage for the both of them. Isn't that so neat? That's exactly how much our dummy has. But yeah, max string, 16 bullets. Crazy. Only downside is the range on this isn't as good as Fulbright's. Fulbright can do that. Overheat Whip can do this. Problem with 16 bullets is that if you're too far away, you'll still try to hit them, but your string just won't be long enough. See? Just goes up. So yeah, sometimes you don't reach them, but it's a very strong move, 200 damage. Now I'm going to show you a little combo after I've showed you Skywalk. Basically Spider-Man. I mean, like, how is this not Spider-Man? It's like, okay, it's not exactly the same, but it's a great flight. You know, you're flying. This has special M1s, which makes it the strongest M1s we've reviewed so far. The only special M1s, but still. That counts for something. It's the only non-legendary or mythic to have special M1s in the entire game. Pretty interesting if you ask me. But like, come on, bro. This is great movement. By the way, you can count how many you have left. You only do 8 of these. Alright, now I'm going to show you a combo. So I'm going to go to whole cake for that. Alright, so we're in whole cake, but I just want to say, if you're still here, man, you are the GOAT. You're a legend. The fact that you've stayed here for an hour to watch this video, you're a legend to me, bro. Because it makes me know that someone actually cares about what I do. So, that's cool. Alright, so here's the combo. I'm going to spawn a string knight. Do this before you start fighting. Then let your thing do 4 M1s and do Fulbright. Then do 4 yourself. Let him do 5 and then overheat whip. Let all of the damage...
We're still recording.
Sorry guys, something just interrupted. Okay, I'm going to try this again. So, let's... You want to preemptively summon the string knight. Then let him do 4 M1s. Fulbright. Do 4 M1s yourself. Let him do 5 into your overheat whip. Soru up to him. 4 more M1s. Okay, then your dummy will proceed to be 0 IQ. That is normal. Your dummy is 0 IQ. I'm just... bruh. Then your dummy will continue, and the second he starts hitting him, you want to go with a 16 bullets. That combo should deal about 700 damage. Okay, so let's bring up the spreadsheet for the last time in this video. Alright, so we've got string. Mobility, I'm going to give it a 3. It's got good mobility on the E. It has no other mobility moves though. But it can fly. Like, it can fly, so it's getting a 3. It doesn't last as long as Flames one. So it's just getting a 3. And it's less controlled than Flames. Damage. I mean, the damage is good on this. It's not insane, because there's only 3 moves. I'm going to give it credit where it's due, right? It's only actually mid damage. But it's not bad by any means. AoE. The AoE's mid. I want to have a look at the gas for a reference. Gas's AoE is probably less good than strings, but not by very much. See, I don't know, because string... The first move is good ranged. The second move is an AoE. Like your classical AoEs around the person in a circle. And your third move is a dumb robot running at your friend. Your enemy, whatever I should say. And your fourth move is spiky strings poking your enemy. I don't know. I think it deserves a 3. Skill required, right? If you know how to use this fruit, you're gonna deal insane damage. But if you don't know how to use this fruit, you're gonna struggle a lot. So, 2. I'm sorry. It's not easy to use this fruit. I have not given a single fruit yet anything more than a 3 in this area. Any of them. None of them are easy to use yet. That's mainly because we haven't got to the mythics yet. No, I'm serious. I've only got 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 is 10. And guess what? Plus 3. We giving him a 13. Yet another 13. That's crazy, bro. No, so string is a strong fruit. But you have to know how to use it for it to be effective. And it's pretty rare. It's not very easy to get. I mean, you can get it in time, but it's not very easy to get. So, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, you are a legend. I hope you have a wonderful day.